the business's insurance bills down, and he must be spitting nails at this latest setback. She wondered idly how much the shipment had been insured for, contemplated an inside job combined with insurance fraud, then felt her interest wane. It was really Gemma's case anyway. She was merely keeping a watching brief. Since she'd handed in her notice 2 months ago, she'd gradually been dwindling down her workload in preparation for leaving. The last thing she wanted to do was leave with too many cases outstanding. She had too much professional pride for that. She got up and reached for her jacket. A rich dark green, it matched her slender skirt and complemented the cream blouse she was wearing. The whole ensemble suited her longish, bell-shaped cut of dark chestnut hair, and since she'd lost nearly a stone in weight during the last couple of months, she attracted more than her usual share of male glances as she made her way out of the large open-plan office and down the stairs into the foyer. She went to the reception desk, where a hefty desk sergeant, counting down the minutes until he was relieved, saw her approach and grinned a welcome.
"Can't say as I miss that old DC of yours," he said affably, by way of greeting. "You know, that long streak of wind with the ginger mop. He was all right usually, but the last few weeks he was going about with a face like a long wet weekend."
Hilary smiled wryly. There was no point in explaining that Keith Barrington, who'd left the force a few weeks ago to join his lover on the pro tennis circuit, had certainly had more than enough on his plate to warrant the long face. Keith was gay and had been in the closet. Having a wealthy boyfriend had not exactly been an asset to a young DC with ambition. The son of a titled man and recently convicted felon, the boyfriend had ambitions to be the next Andy Murray, and the suicide of his father whilst being held at Her Majesty's pleasure had given him the opportunity to go chasing his dreams. He'd been determined to take Keith with him. Not surprisingly, Gavin Morland had no love for the police, and had probably been determined for some time to winkle the love of his life out of the arms of the men in blue and into the more rarefied atmosphere of the well-to-do, footloose and fancy-free brigade. Hilary still secretly believed her young constable had made the wrong choice in leaving the force to become a sports agent, but she was hardly in the position to advise anyone on anything, either on matters of the heart or career options. Hadn't her own choices landed her in the position in which she now languished, with no other option but to resign, and with the prospect of a boyfriend about as remote as her becoming the next lottery winner? "I had a postcard from him earlier this week," Hilary responded to the desk sergeant's jibes. "From Monte Carlo, I think it was, where it's 10 degrees hotter. He was sipping pina coladas by the pool and pocketing a nice little cheque after bagging his second signing, some minor league football hopeful who's just been bought up by Swansea." The desk sergeant blew a raspberry. "Swansea? Who the hell cares?" But he had a faraway look in his eyes that looked a lot like envy to Hilary, and she was careful to hide her smile. "See you tomorrow, Bill," she said dryly, and turned towards the large modern set of swing doors that led out to a featureless car park. The desk sergeant watched her go and sighed. No two ways about it. It would be the end of an era when Hilary Greene left. He still couldn't believe that she was actually going. Nobody could. Everyone kept on thinking that something was going to happen to change her mind, but so far she was staying grim-faced and stoical, and her leaving date grew slowly but inexorably nearer. Outside, Hilary made her way to Puff the Tragic Wagon, her ancient Volkswagen Golf, and wondered what she'd do with the car if she did take to the canal system for any length of time. It hardly seemed worth garaging it somewhere, but on the other hand, she was loath to sell it. Over the years, she'd grown used to it, and it seemed like one wrench too many to say goodbye to the contrary old rust bucket. She shivered in the cool evening air as she